What's good, everybody? How y'all doing, man? Thank y'all again for coming back and watching another episode of the Dope Sessions podcast. Now, for those that don't know, these series of episodes that I'm doing is video episodes. Majority of the time when I do the podcast, I'm basically by myself, but I wanted to just kind of introduce some people, bring them on, and we just talk about various things, various topics, whatever. But I got a special guest with me. This is not only my brother in creativity, but just my brother, and just gonna bring him on. What up, Lenny? This is Lenny Virgo.
What's good?
Oh man, what's good with you, bro?
Shit, man, working, man, trying to stay busy. Shit.
Yeah, man, I feel you on that one. Man, so first of all, before we begin, I do want to just mention that my brother Lenny is doing some dope shit, making masks for everybody that's we going through these coronavirus times right now. So, and we all need to protect ourselves, wearing masks, wearing gloves, whatever we need to do to protect ourselves. And Lenny does make masks, and if you want to get you a mask, which you should, because he creates some of the dopest masks. Got some denim masks, got some other fabrics that he's been doing. You want to go to lennyvirgo.com. That's LENNYVIRGO.com, and go ahead and get you a mask, get you two of them things if you want to. So yeah. So just for a little bit, I just want to ask you what brought on you wanting to create these masks.
Oh, that's simple, man, because it was a need, and I was seeing that people like New Balance, Nike, different companies that normally made other things was retooling their manufacturing supply chains to make masks. And my cousin, that was before I decided to make them, but my cousin in Michigan hit me up and was like, "Yo, do you make masks?" And I was like, "No." And it hit me right in that moment, like, damn, I should be making masks. Mm-hmm. And I started making masks, and it's been a whirlwind since that day. Like, I can easily say I probably get good 10, 15 orders a day. It varies, but some days it's a lot, some days it's not.
Right.
So I really couldn't tell you what my schedule will look like from day to day, because I can wake up with 10 orders, or I can wake up with none. But as the day go on, it start jumping off. So I don't know. It's hard for me to plan my day now.
Right.
Now that I've jumped into this making masks thing. So, but it's cool. I ain't complaining though. I think it's a blessing for me to be able to provide a service that people need and want, because it's a fashion thing too. It ain't necessarily. I mean, even though the masks I make are they are like a double line fabric, so you get great protection. But I use fabrics that are somewhat fashionable too, so it kind of kills two birds with one stone.
Right. How we came together to create the Blk Cinema, that's a duo with me and Lenny. I wanted to kind of get into that because we've known each other for a while, but it took us like 5 years to finally like create this this movement, this project. Oh, by the way, I should say we got two albums coming out this year. We got the first one just came out April 1st, and we got another one dropping Juneteenth, Darky Horror Picture Show. But what I want to do is I kind of want to give like my side to kind of like how I was introduced to you, and then you can give your side of how you were introduced to me, and then we can just talk about just finally coming together for the Blk Cinema.
Okay.
So how I was introduced to you was U.S. Beer Company.
Okay, we're gonna go back there. Okay.
Yeah. Kareem, who was my brother, was doing these hip hop events at U.S. Beer Company, and one of the shows I went to, you and HB Soul was there.
Okay.
And I can't remember if you two. Granted, later y'all became Don't Rush the Stage, but I don't know if y'all was a duo then. But I just know that y'all came there, y'all killed that shit. And then I was just like, man, like I like these two cats. And then the next time I was kind of reintroduced to you was when the Illy Soul Live series came out.
Right.
So, and then once you and Kareem became cool and started having like this partnership and friendship, and we just kind of got introduced through that. I think part of my dream, I was just like, man, I want to be a part of Illy Soul. But at the time, I was kind of hesitant because I think at that particular time I wasn't confident in myself skill wise.
Okay.
So that's kind of like my. Oh, and also what really made me say like, damn, I want to work with this dude so bad. Like I want to work with this dude so bad was Month of Virgo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that album, which I actually still have on my phone. That album was the one I was just like, yo, I really want to work with this dude. And so that yeah, man. So that's kind of like my introduction to you. What was your like introduction to me?
Well, I mean, your brother said that he had a brother that could rap, and I think I was introduced to some of the music, the freestyles that you was putting out, and I checked out a couple of them, and he said to me that you was interested in doing some work, so I reached out, and I don't think we really connected as far as what you wanted from me,
right,
and what I could do for you. So it took some time, and I'm always involved in something. So it took like you said, like 5+ years to finally for me to settle down and really concentrate on what it is that I could do for you.
Right.
And once we did that, it was pretty much it pretty much took off from there.
Right.
And it spawned into us recording a couple of projects together as a duo. So it wasn't really it you know how you go to sleep and you wake up and you're not necessarily cognizant of how much time has passed.
Right.
That's kind of how this was. I mean, you could say it was 5 years, but it don't seem that long of a time to me because I'm always moving, I'm always doing stuff. So but it was kind of like when we did decide to work, it was like we had already been working because it was so easy to create.
Because I don't think a lot of people know that when we came together, the initial thing wasn't Blk Cinema.
Right.
It was to work on a solo project for myself. But our vibe just like we clicked so much, and it was just like it just became a thing. It was like, let's just make this a duo. Like, let's just make this happen. For everybody that don't know either, this is how the process of the Blk Cinema actually happened. At a time, because we kept saying like we're gonna work together, we're gonna do something, but we just never found the time to like connect or anything. And then I think one day the new Gangstar album was about to come out, and I remember Premier saying, how he crafted this album with like verses of Guru, like acapella verses from Guru, and I think I was just motivated at hearing that, and I was just like, you know what, let me go ahead and just like send some like vocals, you know. And I was just like, you know, and you had sent me a track to a song that's actually on the album that's called Leave. And the only thing that you said to me when you sent me the track was just like, yo, write some real shit. And so if you hear Leave, I'm speaking as real as I can about my marriage that ended. And so I remember sitting on this beat for a while because I was just like I didn't, like, at first I didn't really know what to write about. But as time just kept, you know, moving, I was like, okay, well, maybe I could touch on this subject. And so while I, you know, rapped to that beat and gave it to you, I think I gave you like other like just acapella vocals, and then you just started kind of crafting beats. I'm gonna let you go ahead and just kind of talk about that process, me sending over acapellas. Like, what was the process with you crafting all this production just from vocals?
It takes a lot of listening, and it's definitely not easy, especially when the vocals aren't recited to a tempo. So you got to shift, and you know, you got to do a lot of moving phrases to fit the beat. And I wasn't necessarily sure if the way I was adjusting the different your different phrases, I didn't know if they was gonna fit the way you wrote it. It was just, I was just going off, you know, me being a, you know, I wouldn't call myself an MC. I'm somebody that can write. You know what I'm saying? I'm a writer. So, you know, I can, you know, I can rap, but that's not what my title is. I'm a producer, I'm a songwriter. So I understand flow and cadences and stuff of that nature. So I was able to adjust them, but I wasn't necessarily sure if those flows and cadences fit the way you wrote them. So when I started sending the songs back to you, you was like, yeah, this dope. I understood where to go going forward, because even though the songs may not have been originally how you, well, let me ask you this. Anything that I did, was it far off from what you originally visioned the rap to be like?
So absolutely, man. Everything, when you sent back that stuff to me, I was like, yo, this is exactly like, of course, because I'm doing stuff a cappella, it's not really to a track or anything. And if anything, like, it might be somebody else's track that I probably wrote to, but you know, with you being like the super producer that you are, you know, you can direct it in another way that makes me say, like, okay, like, I like how he did this. I can mess with this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and every time you sent something back to me, I was just like, yo, like this we could do this. Like, we could do this. Like that was just like my process. So, like, absolutely, man. Everything you did when you sent stuff back, I was like, yo, like, we got something. Like everything I was just hearing, I was like, yeah, we got something, bro. We really got something.
So yeah, it wasn't. So it was kind of going off faith that what I was doing matched up to what your vision was for the song that you sent me. And like I said, once you gave me the initial nod from the first joint, I think it was Stars, because it was a different beat to it at first. Then I went back. But that's my process. I'm not normally married to anything. you know, if I hear something or if I get inspired to change, change it, because it's all about the best vibe. So when I switched up thoughts, I knew it was strong because it's for any producer that see this, you know when the groove is strong. You know it ain't hard to tell at all. It's you know when, I mean, anything can sound like it's together, but not everything locks into a groove.
Right.
And that's when you know it's legit, because the groove is strong. And the groove was solid with thoughts. It was just solid. It you know what I'm saying? It was just it was thick, it was heavy as far as the drums and the melancholiness of the guitars, and then it just, everything was just strong. So from that point, I started to formulate how the vibe of Blk Cinema would sound. From that one song led me down the path of, okay, things have to have these elements of feeling in every song. It has to have somewhat of a melancholy emotion, but it's got to have a very hip hop driving beat.
Right. Yeah.
So if you listen to the whole project, it has that melancholy feel, but it's hip hop.
Yeah.
The beat is hip hop. And when you talk about the next project, which I don't want to give too much away, but the next project got its own vibe and feel to it too.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
So yeah, the Blk Cinema to me is just it's a viewpoint of what us individuals being Black, meaning Kelvy and Lenny Virgo, how we see music from our viewpoint. You know, a lot of times people like to make music according to what somebody else experienced or what they think the people would like to hear. And me too, I do too. And I feel like we do too. But we start with us first. We want to make sure that we are fulfilled in what we want to do first before we try to impress and fulfill the audience.
Right.
And hopefully the audience will receive that and rock with us. But we're not out trying to make music specifically to please the audience. We please ourselves first.
I wanted to ask you, like, even when we actually formed Blk Cinema, because you were the one that hit me up and was just like, yo, I think we should be a duo. Like, what was the driving force of you wanting for us to be a duo?
People like groups, man. That's just as simple as that. You know, people get excited over groups.
Yeah.
They get excited. You know, as a solo artist, dime a dozen, bro. You know, you trying to find your way in the field of millions opposed to a field of thousands. You know, it ain't that many groups. So just the chances that you could cut through being a group, that was the business part of it. But the other part of it was, I felt like we was different.
Yeah.
You know, we was different. You know, you got a producer, you got a strong MC, artist, writer, and a producer who also writes. It makes it easy for the song constructions to move a little quicker, because I know I have a great I have a strong understanding of how to put together songs as far as whatever. So I know how to guide it without actually being a tyrant. I ain't gotta say, do this. It's like suggestive. I could be like, you know, I can add a hook. I can, you know what I'm saying? Because if I put it like this, if I really wanted to drive the vibe, I just throw a hook on it. And me putting a hook on it pretty much sets it up.
Right.
But if I don't put a hook on it, best believe I know what I want to hear. So when I hear it, I say, okay, that's dope. You know what I mean? So I'll leave it up. You know, it's a lot of times, it's 50-50 sometimes. I'll send you a beat and don't give you shit. And you will give it back and I'll be like, okay, cool. And then I'll add something to it. And then whatever. Or I'll send you a beat with a hook on it and you like, oh, okay, boom, I know what to do. So, you know, it's a great feeling to be able to construct songs like that, because things move faster. And not only do they move fast, but it was flawless, bro. I ain't gonna lie. There wasn't no hiccups at all. That's why I said, fuck, we should work together, because, you know, it was a no-brainer shit, you know. It didn't take me long to come to that conclusion at all, because the way we sounded on records made sense.
Yeah.
You know, the way that our voices together and the music, it made sense. Like, fuck it, you know, let's see if we can I'm glad that we did go that route, because the second album proved it. It was show and prove that the first album wasn't no fluke.
Right.
You feel me? The second one is gonna let people know, oh, okay, they for real.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say being right, but just being confident that something will work when it does work. You feel me? I was like, okay.
Hey, man, talk your shit, bro. You was right.
No. What I'm saying is, not to you or anyone. It's just for me personally.
Right.
I always feel confident in things I do. It's just cool to know that, okay, so I was right. That's what's up. But it ain't a badge or a trophy. It's just, it further gives me confidence that I know what I'm doing. That's all. That's it. It's just, I'm like, okay, I'm confident in my ability. But when it shows, improves, and it flourishes into something great, it just makes me know, okay, I do know what I'm doing. That's all.
Right.
You know, so I don't necessarily have nothing to prove. I just don't. I know if I say, I do it this way, it's generally because I've done it that way. I'm just remixing it.
Right.
I've already improved my formulas. You know, and I think that's what people that are good at something, they know that. All they do is just represent it a different way. And it just keeps working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you write a song that was great, and you write 10 more songs like that, what's the probability that them 10 songs are gonna be great? Because you already wrote one based on that formula. You just gotta switch some shits up. That's all.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
And that's the Blk Cinema formula that has been developed. You know, okay, we did this album this way. We're gonna do this album this way, but we're just gonna adjust the pieces a little bit, move them around, and and it worked.
Yeah.
So now it's just I apply that same formula to the next, and just keep, that's what it's all about, man. I think people really spin their wheels trying to reinvent the wheel. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
It's not. You're gonna find yourself, you're gonna bang yourself, you're gonna bang your head against the wall. And it's like, why would you abandon what you just developed to be great? Just just keep doing it. Just readjust it. J. Cole proved that, man. He's just evolving, but he's still doing him.
Right.
It's that feeling. He realized his feeling is what people like. It ain't necessarily the song, it's the vibe, the J. Cole vibe.
Right.
And he just repackages that shit up and give it like Apple with the phones. They already know what works.
Yeah, exactly.
And people criticize them, right? But why would I change if what I did worked? I'm just reinventing what I know that worked. And people like my product, so why would I leave them people to this? I'm just gonna keep building off that. Right. So look at it like this too, and I'm gonna leave you with this. So you get 1,000 people. Let's say 1,000 people buy this album. I'm not concerned with 1,000 more people. I'm concerned with the 1,000 that believed in me the first time.
Right. Yeah.
Them 1,000 is gonna be my catalyst. They gonna tell the 1,000 or but I need to impress and keep impressing them.
Right. Exactly.
In order for it to grow.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't concerned with the new. I'm only concerned with impressing that 1,000.
Right.
You know, so that's where my mind is at. You know, once you get an audience, you worry about that audience.
I had a conversation with another comrade, Drunken Monkey, and who is like really like loves this Blk Cinema album, and he said to him, he said the album is a therapy. It's like a breakup / therapy album. That was his interpretation. Yeah, that was his interpretation of the album. I kind of felt kind of what he was saying, like when you listen to the whole album, like what is your overall like thoughts, you know, pun intended, of the whole album?
That's a good question. Personal. It's personal.
Yeah.
So if you go back to my theory of the 1,000, if you could find 1,000 people that feel like you felt when you wrote them songs, then you did your job.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that's the overall cheat code to this game. You got to find your audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's like, you know, it could be 1,000 people, but them 1,000 people are spread out all over the world. And they got to be your mouthpiece. And you know, as far as this album is personal, I mean, it's you know, it's thought provoking, I should say. And it's I think the centerpiece of that would be love.
Yeah.
When I say love, I don't necessarily mean love as far as courtship or relationship love. It's just the positive energy of what love is. Right. So, and it's different variables of that in each song.
And that's kind of how I see it as well. It's a personal love album. I mean, yes, it deals with some relationships, but it doesn't necessarily always lead to like my relationship to my ex-wife or my relationship to another woman. It also could be my relationship to the world itself, my relationship to hip hop, my relationship to like my friends, like just my relationship to myself. So yeah, it's very much a love album, a love and relationship, and just a album of feelings. Like it's like you said about Cole. It's the vibe, it's the feeling. Like you know, when I wrote these songs like that, I wanted people to hear these songs and be like, yo, I thought about that myself. I'm not gonna go into too much about the second album. You know, we do have a title for it. It's Darky Horror Picture Show, and it comes out Juneteenth.
When is Juneteenth? What is that? What date is that?
It's June 19th.
Very significant day.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And so let me ask you this, and you don't have to give much. What was the thought process going into Darky Horror?
It is. That's what it is. It is a Darky Horror Picture Show for us. Every day.
Yeah.
Every waking moment. It's how you navigate through it, and these are the songs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And if you think about it, we're going through a darky horror situation right now.
You know, we're fulfilling prophecy though. You know, when this album come out, pay attention to how we structured the songs.
Mm-hmm.
It reads like a book almost.
Yeah.
That album was done months ago. Keep that in mind too.
Mm-hmm.
Months ago.
Yep.
You know, we just had extreme foresight on this album.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Like, and I tell people, like, a friend of mine asked me the other day, he said, why y'all calling y'all new project Darky Horror? I said, cause we living in it, bro. And I'm like, and I said, look at this stuff now. We're living in it right now. COVID-19, it's taking a lot of black people out. I mean, it's taking everybody else out too, but it's definitely taking us out.
It affected us all, but the narrative has switched.
Yeah.
And I want people to understand that the narrative has switched.
Mm-hmm. I do want to thank you again for chopping it up with me, coming through on the Dope Sessions podcast. The Blk Cinema self-titled debut album is out now. It is everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Go ahead and check that out. Darky Horror Picture Show, Juneteenth. Thank you, Lenny, for chopping it up with me, man.
For sure, no problem.
All right, man. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Catch you later.